Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Speak Up. I'm Ryan, and I can't thank you enough for joining us today. Your time is incredibly precious, and we're committed to making every minute you spend here worthwhile. Today we're diving into a topic that many of you have been curious about: what it really takes to achieve a Band 8 on the IELTS exam. Now, you might have heard that a Band 8 score isn't just a number. It represents a high level of proficiency in English, covering listening, reading, writing, and speaking. In this session, we'll unpack what each of these sections demands from you. From mastering IELTS speaking tips to finding ways to improve English fluency, we're going to cover it all. We'll discuss the importance of speaking naturally, organizing your thoughts coherently, and using a rich vocabulary with correct grammar. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some in-depth insights that can transform your IELTS preparation. Thank you for investing your time with us. We promise to make it a quality and enriching experience.
Hi everyone, I'm Priya, and it's such a pleasure to have you with us today. Let me kick things off by asking, have you ever wondered what truly distinguishes candidates who score a Band 8 from those who don't? Imagine being able to communicate effortlessly and confidently in every section of the IELTS exam. Today, we're going to peel back the layers and reveal the secrets behind that impressive score. We'll explore practical strategies that not only boost your confidence, but also refine your language skills, from fine-tuning your listening and speaking to perfecting your writing and reading. Whether you're after proven IELTS, speaking tips, or effective ways to improve the English fluency, we're here to guide you through the process. We want your time with us to be engaging and rewarding, so get ready to uncover insights that might just change the way you approach your study routine. Thank you so much for choosing to spend these moments with us. We're dedicated to making every second count.
All right, let's break down what a Band 8 score really looks like across the different sections of the IELTS exam. When it comes to listening, achieving Band 8 means you can comfortably understand a variety of spoken English, including discussions with subtle shifts in tone and complex vocabulary. For reading, it's about quickly grasping the main ideas and details in challenging texts, demonstrating an ability to interpret and analyze with ease. In the writing section, a Band 8 score indicates that you can structure your essays in a clear, logical manner, using a broad range of vocabulary and exhibiting strong grammatical accuracy. And of course, in the speaking test, it's essential that you express yourself fluently and coherently with pronunciation that's clear and natural. These aren't just arbitrary standards. They're the benchmarks that tell examiners you're ready to communicate like a proficient English speaker. By focusing on these areas, you can work toward not just passing the IELTS, but truly excelling in it. Remember, every bit of progress in your English learning journey counts.
Building on what Ryan just explained, let's dive a little deeper into the specific performance criteria that set a Band 8 apart. First off, fluency isn't simply about speed. It's about how smoothly and confidently you can express your thoughts without awkward pauses. Coherence, on the other hand, is all about structuring your ideas in a logical and easy-to-follow manner. A robust lexical resource means having a diverse vocabulary that allows you to articulate your ideas precisely, something that an English vocabulary builder can really help with. Grammatical accuracy is another key element. It's not just about avoiding mistakes, but about varying your sentence structures and demonstrating control over the language. And then there's pronunciation. Getting it right isn't just about clarity, it's about capturing the natural rhythm and intonation of English, making you sound more like a native speaker. By understanding and honing these skills, you're not just preparing for an exam, you're preparing for real-life communication. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope these insights inspire you to take confident steps forward in your IELTS journey and beyond.
All right, everyone. Let's dive right into our first game-changing strategy, enhancing your listening and speaking skills. One of the most effective ways to get better at English is by engaging in regular listening practice. When you dedicate time each day to listening, whether it's through podcasts, news clips, or even casual conversations, you start to notice the natural flow of the language. This regular English listening practice helps your brain get used to different accents and rhythms. One technique I've personally found transformative is the shadowing technique for fluency. With shadowing, you listen to a native speaker and try to mimic what they say in real time. It might feel challenging at first, but over time, it really helps you speak English confidently without second-guessing every word. This method pushes you to let go of that habit of translating in your head, so you start thinking directly in English. Imagine the freedom of being able to respond instinctively during conversations. That's the goal here.
Absolutely, Ryan. I can't stress enough how incorporating daily conversations into your routine can be a total game changer. When you immerse yourself in real-life dialogues, you not only pick up new vocabulary and expressions, but also train your ear to understand natural speech. I've been experimenting with shadowing my favorite English news segments and even short audio stories. It's an amazing way to get used to the nuances of pronunciation and intonation. By actively mimicking what you hear, you gradually shed that need to translate every sentence in your mind. This practice not only builds your confidence, but also helps you internalize the language, making it easier to speak English confidently in any situation. Whether you're chatting with a friend, joining an online discussion, or simply practicing in front of a mirror, every bit of effort counts. It's all about creating an environment where you're constantly exposed to the natural flow of English, so that eventually responding becomes almost automatic.
Now, let's explore some practical ways to bring this strategy into your daily life. One idea is to schedule a daily chat session. This could be with a friend, a colleague, or even an online partner, where the sole focus is to speak English. It doesn't have to be a long conversation. Even a 10 to 15-minute exchange can work wonders over time. These real-life English conversations are not just practice sessions. They're opportunities to build confidence in your ability to express yourself clearly and naturally. I recommend mixing in different types of conversations, casual chats, discussions about current events, or even role-playing common scenarios. This variety helps prepare you for anything the IELTS exam or daily life might throw at you. And as you practice, you'll begin to notice that you're not constantly pausing to translate in your head. Instead, your thoughts flow more naturally in English, which is a huge step toward fluency and comfort.
To add to what Ryan mentioned, integrating English into your everyday routines is essential for long-term improvement. Think of small yet consistent steps. Perhaps start your morning with an English podcast or end your day by discussing your experiences in English with someone close. These simple habits are incredibly effective in building a natural command of the language. Another tip is to join online communities or language exchange groups. Interacting with others can boost your confidence and provide immediate feedback. When you practice in a relaxed, real-world setting, you gradually learn how to speak English confidently without the constant mental translation. This shift not only accelerates your learning, but also prepares you for real-life situations, from professional meetings to casual conversations. By embracing these daily interactions and techniques like shadowing, you'll find yourself breaking free from the habit of overthinking every sentence and soon enough, speaking with genuine ease. Keep experimenting with different scenarios until you discover what works best for you. And remember, every conversation is a step closer to mastering the language.
All right, moving right along from our discussion on listening and speaking, let's dive into our next big strategy, mastering grammar and vocabulary. I believe that a solid grammar foundation is like the backbone of your English skills. When you understand the rules, forming clear and effective sentences becomes second nature. I remember struggling with complex grammar until I discovered resources that make it feel so much simpler. Think along the lines of English Grammar Made Easy. These tools break down even the trickiest rules into bite-sized, manageable parts. Not only does this approach help you grasp the essentials, but it also guides you on how to fix English grammar mistakes before they become a habit. It's really about building confidence in your writing and speaking, ensuring that your ideas are communicated smoothly and correctly. Now let's talk about vocabulary. Imagine your vocabulary as a toolbox. Each word is a tool that helps you express yourself more precisely. I've had great success using an English vocabulary builder app, which introduces new words in context, making them easier to remember. Plus, with simple tips to memorize English words, you can quickly learn English fast without feeling overwhelmed. When you expand your vocabulary, you're not just adding words, you're also learning how to use them naturally, which is essential for sounding fluent and confident. This foundation in grammar and vocabulary sets you up for success, whether you're writing an essay or speaking in everyday conversations.
I completely agree with you, Ryan. For me, the challenge was always about making sense of all the rules and remembering new words consistently. One thing that really helped was taking a structured approach to grammar, focusing on one rule at a time until it truly became part of my natural speech. I started using interactive resources that promised English grammar made easy. And soon enough, I was noticing fewer mistakes. It's incredible how a clear understanding of grammar can boost your confidence when speaking or writing. And speaking of vocabulary, I made it a habit to jot down any new word I came across in a dedicated notebook. This simple practice, combined with various tips to memorize English words, transformed my ability to recall words when I needed them most. What really made a difference was using technology to my advantage. For example, I experimented with an English vocabulary builder tool that presented words in engaging contexts, which made it so much easier to grasp their meanings and uses. The phrase, "how to expand your English vocabulary," isn't just a catchy headline. It's a real, actionable plan that can help you learn English fast. By integrating these practices into my daily life, I felt more prepared for spontaneous conversations and formal writing alike. Every day, a little effort goes a long way in turning grammar and vocabulary challenges into strengths that you can rely on.
Building on what Priya shared, I want to highlight some practical ways to make mastering grammar and vocabulary a seamless part of your daily routine. One idea is to set aside a dedicated time each day, even if it's just 15 to 20 minutes, to focus solely on one grammar concept. You could use online exercises or even work through a chapter in a grammar book until you feel comfortable. This regular practice not only solidifies your understanding, but also minimizes those pesky errors that can slow you down during tests or conversations. On the vocabulary front, why not challenge yourself to learn a few new words every day? Use an English vocabulary builder app to introduce you to words in a meaningful context. Then, try to incorporate these words into your writing or conversations. By doing this consistently, you start to see real progress, and you'll soon discover the answer to how to expand your English vocabulary effectively. Remember, the goal is to learn English fast by building a robust foundation, and every little effort counts. Embrace these habits, and you'll find that the more you practice, the easier it becomes to express yourself naturally without stumbling over your words.
Exactly, Ryan. I'd also recommend creating a fun, interactive environment around your learning. For instance, you might try setting weekly challenges for yourself, like writing a short story or recording a short video explaining a grammar rule. These activities not only reinforce your understanding, but also add an element of creativity to your study routine. When you actively use what you've learned, it sticks much better than passive reading or rote memorization. Another strategy that worked well for me was engaging in discussions on online forums or social media groups focused on language learning. It's a great way to see how others apply these grammar rules and new vocabulary in real conversations. Plus, you get immediate feedback and can learn from common mistakes. This kind of immersive practice is invaluable because it teaches you how to speak English confidently and naturally without the need to translate every thought in your head. By blending these approaches, structured practice, interactive challenges, and community engagement, you'll see steady progress and eventually master the skills needed for a Band 8 in IELTS. Every step you take now builds the confidence to express yourself clearly, whether in an exam or everyday life.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about perfecting your writing skills, another game-changing strategy in your IELTS preparation. I always say that writing well is like painting a vivid picture with words. It all starts with structured writing practice. Begin by planning your essay. Brainstorm your ideas, jot down an outline, and map out your main points. This initial planning stage is crucial because it sets the stage for a clear, coherent argument later on. Once you have your outline, move on to drafting your essay. Try to let your ideas flow naturally, but keep in mind the importance of connecting each paragraph smoothly. I recommend practicing different essay types, whether it's an argumentative piece or a descriptive narrative, to build versatility. Also, timed writing exercises can be incredibly useful. They not only boost your speed, but also help you simulate the exam environment. With regular practice, you'll find that your ability to express your thoughts clearly and logically improves dramatically. Every piece you write becomes an opportunity to refine your skills and get closer to that Band-Aid goal.
I couldn't agree more, Ryan. For me, structured writing practice has been a breakthrough. When I first started, I often found it challenging to organize my thoughts cohesively. But by committing to a routine where I plan, draft, and then revise my essays, my writing has become much more fluid. I always focus on ensuring each idea is supported by clear evidence and logical transitions, which makes my argument stronger and more persuasive. It's also essential to review and refine your work. Revising helps catch any inconsistencies or gaps in your logic. I make it a point to practice a variety of writing styles, and I've noticed that this not only improves my overall writing, but also builds my confidence for the IELTS exam. Embracing these strategies allows you to write with a natural flow, and soon enough, you'll find that putting your ideas on paper becomes an enjoyable, almost instinctive process. Every writing session is a step forward in your journey to effective communication.
Now, let's zero in on another vital aspect: grammar and tense mastery. Mastering grammar is absolutely essential because it ensures your writing is not just coherent but also professional. When you learn to master English tenses, you create a solid foundation that helps you convey your ideas accurately. Mixing up tenses can confuse your readers and dilute the impact of your argument, so focusing on consistency is key. I always encourage learners to engage with resources that offer advanced English lessons, where you can dive deep into the nuances of grammar. These lessons are designed to help you spot and avoid common English mistakes, allowing you to polish your writing effectively. Whether you're drafting an essay under time pressure or revising your work, paying attention to your sentence structure and tense usage will make a noticeable difference. Remember, the goal is to express your ideas with clarity and precision. Every small improvement adds up to a more compelling and error-free piece of writing.
Absolutely, Ryan. Focusing on grammar and tense isn't just about memorizing rules, it's about making them second nature in your writing. I've seen firsthand how a strong command of tenses can transform a piece from average to outstanding. When you're confident in your grammar, you're less likely to get bogged down by errors, which frees you up to focus on your argument and overall message. I've integrated regular grammar exercises into my study routine, which has really helped me avoid those common pitfalls. Resources that offer advanced English lessons have been invaluable in this process, guiding me through the intricacies of sentence structure and punctuation. Over time, you'll notice that your writing flows more naturally and you no longer have to stop and second-guess your choice of words. With continuous practice, you'll be able to write with precision and clarity, making every sentence count. Embrace the journey of mastering these skills, and you'll not only improve your writing, but also build the confidence to tackle any challenge that comes your way, both in the exam and beyond.
All right, let's move on to one of the key strategies for excelling in IELTS: tackling the reading section with efficiency and precision. One of the most effective methods I've found is using skimming and scanning techniques. Skimming lets you quickly capture the main ideas of a passage, while scanning helps you pinpoint specific details, like dates, names, or keywords. This combo is a lifesaver during the exam when time is tight. I also recommend paying attention to context. It's amazing how understanding the overall setting and tone of a passage can help you better grasp the writer's intent. When you read texts written by native speakers, you get a real feel for the language, similar to what you experience during real-life English conversations. These techniques not only boost your speed, but also enhance your overall comprehension, setting you up to learn English fast by engaging directly with the material. With consistent practice, you'll find that you're able to pick up key points more swiftly and confidently.
Absolutely, Ryan. I've experienced a real transformation in my reading skills by integrating these methods. When I start with skimming, I focus on the big picture, what the text is generally about, without getting lost in the details right away. Then, by switching to scanning, I can zero in on the specific information I need. This two-step process not only saves time, but also trains your brain to pick up patterns and important clues quickly. Reading a variety of materials, from news articles and blogs to academic pieces, really helps you adapt to different writing styles. This diversity is crucial for understanding how native English speakers construct their narratives. And the beauty of this approach is that it mirrors the dynamics of everyday conversation. Just like in real-life English conversations, where you need to be both fast and accurate, these reading techniques sharpen your ability to absorb and process information on the fly. The more you practice, the more natural this process becomes, making your preparation both effective and engaging.
Now let's talk about how you can combine speed and comprehension to really elevate your reading skills. One strategy I like is to time your practice sessions. Setting a timer forces you to work within a set period, which simulates the exam conditions and pushes you to think on your feet. As you practice, try to balance speed with thorough understanding. Don't just rush through the text. Make sure you're actually grasping the key points. It's a delicate balance, but with regular practice, you'll start to see improvements in both areas. Integrating these techniques into your daily routine will not only help you become faster at processing information, but will also improve your overall accuracy. Think of it as training your brain to work like a finely tuned machine, swift, efficient, and highly effective. This approach ties back to engaging in real-life English conversations, where quick comprehension is essential. The more you work on these strategies, the more you'll find yourself naturally boosting both your reading speed and your understanding, which is a huge win in any language learning journey.
I completely agree, Ryan. Adding to that, another useful tip is to diversify the types of texts you read. Whether it's a feature article, a short story, or a research paper, each format offers a unique challenge and a different vocabulary. This variety not only keeps your practice sessions interesting, but also exposes you to a range of writing styles and contexts, making it easier to understand the subtle cues in native English writing. When you encounter a mix of genres, you start to recognize common phrases and structural patterns, which can make your reading process more intuitive. Over time, you'll see that your speed improves naturally, and you'll become more adept at distinguishing the main ideas from the details. By treating your reading sessions as a chance to immerse yourself in a world of diverse content, you're not just preparing for the exam. You're building a comprehensive skill set that will help you navigate everyday English with ease. So keep experimenting with different materials, practice regularly, and enjoy the process of discovering new ways to connect with the language.
All right, as we move forward, let's talk about boosting your exam confidence, a critical step on your IELTS journey. One of the biggest hurdles many of us face is the psychological barrier that comes with fear and hesitation when speaking English. I used to worry about making mistakes or not finding the right words, but over time, I learned some valuable techniques to overcome this. One key method is practicing mock tests in a relaxed environment. These simulations not only help you get comfortable with the exam format, but also teach you how to manage stress effectively. It's amazing how, by repeatedly putting yourself in these practice scenarios, you begin to see improvements in both your fluency and overall composure. A great tip I've come across is learning how to stop translating in your head. By training your mind to think directly in English, you gradually reduce the time you spend mentally converting your thoughts, which naturally leads to speaking more effortlessly. In addition, I've found that focusing on specific IELTS speaking tips, like maintaining a steady pace and engaging in self-talk exercises, can make a significant difference. When you work on these strategies consistently, you start speaking English without that nagging fear of making errors. Remember, confidence builds over time with practice, so embrace each opportunity as a learning experience. The more you push yourself outside your comfort zone, the more natural and confident your communication becomes.
I completely relate to what Ryan just mentioned about battling exam nerves. There was a time when even the thought of speaking in English would send my heart racing, but I gradually learned that the key is to face those fears head on. One approach that worked wonders for me was setting aside a quiet moment each day to practice speaking aloud, even if it was just narrating my daily activities. This simple habit helped me get used to forming sentences without pausing to think about every word. I also started taking regular mock tests, which not only familiarized me with the exam pressure, but also allowed me to track my progress over time. Using these practice sessions, I began to build a positive mindset, understanding that mistakes are just stepping stones toward improvement. It's important to remind yourself that every error is an opportunity to learn, and gradually, you start to speak English without hesitation. I found that when I focused on clear objectives, such as refining pronunciation and pacing, I began to feel more secure about my abilities. Embracing these practices has helped me truly overcome my fear of speaking, and now I approach each conversation with more confidence. It's all about persistence and celebrating small wins along the way, so keep pushing yourself and trust the process.
Now that we've tackled the psychological side of things, let's explore how simulated practice can really elevate your exam readiness. One of the most effective tools at your disposal is using technology, specifically the best apps to learn English. These apps offer a range of interactive practice tests that mimic the actual exam environment, giving you real-time feedback on your performance. For example, many of these platforms allow you to record your speaking responses, so you can review them later and spot areas for improvement. This kind of simulated practice is invaluable because it bridges the gap between theoretical knowledge and real exam conditions. When you regularly engage with these tools, you begin to recognize patterns in your mistakes and work on them systematically. I always advise incorporating these sessions into your daily routine. Over time, you'll notice that these practices help you respond more quickly and accurately under pressure, mirroring the experience of real-life conversations. It's a practical way to reinforce the IELTS speaking tips you've been studying, ensuring that you not only learn the content, but also apply it confidently. With every practice session, you're not just preparing for an exam. You're training your brain to operate in English with greater ease and spontaneity. This commitment to simulated practice can be a real game changer in building lasting exam confidence.